Hello everyone! So, people asked for the cat. This is my old lady. My very sick old lady. Gonna put her on the bed. So, as you guys know, if I'm looking over there, it's probably because of her or any of the other cats around the house. I have two more. Could you feel that? Could everyone feel that? That disturbance in the force was Stephen Dognew being like so yeah, there's 3 girls in here, 3 cats, and that one is my old lady. She's very sick and has lots of problems, and I have to keep an eye on her every time because she's always next to me. But on the books, I posted the Friday reads in October, and I should have started with my TBR for October. Now, I don't do well with TBRs because I always read way more than I say I'm gonna read, and sometimes for one reason or another, I end up not reading the books that I said that I'm gonna read. But this time, if we count the, again, not looking at the camera, if we count the October books and the books that I put on my Friday reads, and these books that I'm gonna show today, I think I'm pretty safe to say that I'm gonna read all of these books in October. So, what might happen is that I end up adding more books. And I do plan to try to most of the time do a Friday reads video, so that you guys can see where I'm at, and if I added more books. I don't know if I'm gonna do wrap-ups because I have lots. I cannot do the very aesthetic and pleasing pile of books and show you everything. I will have to be reading most of my computer because I read lots of things on the computer, lots of ebooks, some audiobooks from Open Library, and lots of books from our library. And when I'm doing the wrap-up, I don't have them anymore because we can just have 3 books, and we at the time in our houses, and only for a period of 1 month. That's the maximum. So usually by the end of the month I already have the new books that I'm gonna read, and I probably read like 6 books or 9 books from the library already. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I cannot do a proper wrap-up. Should I do weekly wrap-ups and show you? Should I start the week telling you that I read said and said during last week and during the weekend? Any opinions? Let me know. On these books, I have 5 books. I'm gonna start with less interesting, maybe for most of people, I would say, or not the ones that I have less to say about. The first one, I already started it, and it's the Thoughts from Marcus Aurelius. It's called Thoughts in Portuguese, but I don't know if that's the real name. It's the thoughts they wrote in several books, I think for his soldiers, if I'm not mistaken. This is Portuguese translation. I'm not sure about this translation in particular. This is one that I got my hands in. I'm not that I'm starting to read the Roman classics slowly, and the ancient world classics, I think that's how you say. So I'm not sure how they are supposed to sound well in translation, or how they actually, the way that they talk, how they would influence the translation. So this has some weird phrases in here that I'm not sure, but I will try to find another translations and compare. Second book, it's a poetry book that has a very pretty spine, but nothing to show you. This is from Portuguese author called, how are you called? Julia Diniz. So it's a collection of all his poetries. In case you guys wanted any information about it, if you are Portuguese and you can actually understand, see the edition. It's just a collection of his poems. Like, I want to read more poetry, and to be frank, I don't like to read poetry in translation, so I'm started with the two languages that I can actually understand, that it's Portuguese and English, and then I'll go from there and see what happens. Okay, now for the more famous books that I have here. First one that I think I started this during lockdown because I needed some comfort. Then it was lockdown and all the stress, and I actually stopped reading for a couple of months. It was not good. But I want to finish rereading, because this is like second or third time I'm reading this. It's Howl's Moving Castle from Diana Jones. This is this beautiful edition. I don't see many people preferring this edition, and I just think it looks so lovely. Your old Sophie here. It looks so pretty. And I mean, most people know what this is about. Most people at least saw the movie. This is about Sophie Hatter, if I'm not mistaken. Works on the hat shop, Hatter hat shop. And one day she meets the Witch of the Waste, gets turned into an old lady, and goes after this wizard that is said to steal the hearts of the beautiful girls that he meets. And she goes after him to try to get him to break her curse. But this is so much more than the movie. I mean, have you guys read it? Have anyone read it? I love this so much. I love this with a passion. She's moving. She is doing things she's not supposed to. Okay, she's stopping. Next, again, back to Portuguese translation. This is the second book on the Seven Waters trilogy by Juliette Marillier, that I think, though the title is pretty similar. Yeah, Son of the Shadows. Portuguese translation, so it had to look how it's called. I cannot tell you much of this book since it's the second one on the trilogy, but the first one is about, I don't remember her name, the girl that had her brothers turned into swans, and all her adventure to get her brothers back into humans. This is Celtic folklore, is it Celtic? I think it's Celtic. I don't know, I like Celtic folklore, and haven't started yet. I'm dying to finish the books that I'm reading and then started this one, but I also wanted to finish this one so badly, and I'm like, so many books in so little time. And the last one, I'm not breaking anything. I've also already started it, and I'm gonna need all the month to read this. It's the first book on the Malazan saga series, encyclopedia. This is huge. This is The Gardens of the Moon, so first book on Stephen Erikson's Malazan Chronicles, A Tale of the Book the Malazan Book of the Fallen. Yeah, I think you can barely see it. I have there a couple more books because I started reading this and read just that itty little bit and love it so much. This is so brutal. I mean, how are not people talking about this? Because when Game of Thrones started, we all started like talking about how many people died on that book. I was on page 30? I'm not sure if it's 30 or 70. Either way, very at the beginning of this. And Stephen Erickson had already killed more people than the whole Game of Thrones ever. Period. I was just like, okay, this is going to be amazing, but so far I'm really loving it, and I'm really loving the descriptions on this and how I can feel inside the book. Okay, the descriptions may not be very pleasant when it's a field full of corpses, but I can see the field full of corpses to the small details, that the chipped armor, the sand stains, the blood, the birds, everything. And there's so much happening on this book that I'm like, I have already read this, and I'm just like, if I could spoil you of everything that have already happened and the significance of it, I would be like, this will be an hour-long video. So yeah, also this is like 700 plus. Okay, 700, around 700 pages. Very dense. It's not very dense, but it's very informative writing. So this is the one that's gonna take me longest, even though I've already started it. So imagine that on this pile there's the books that I already talked on the previous video. I'm not gonna mention them all. Please go check somewhere the other video. Imagine they have here the pile of them, and this is at least what I want to read on October. Probably not. I think by the middle of October we are going to see a TBR part 2. Of course I will still be reading this, but you know what I mean. And this is about it. So thank you guys, and leave comments because I need to know what you guys think about this. Bye bye.